But it's like, it's not one thing, it's a lot of things. You have to do drip marketing. When you build your marketing plan, you have to keep going back. It's like we use an 8-touch campaign, so you start, and you can't just send emails. Emails don't always work. They're part of the message. You have to be out there, you have to be seen where they are. And really, economically, I know a lot of you talk about this, if people are thinking that they don't have enough money, and it might be a fact, they don't have money, they're not seeing the value of the services that we're providing. You know, it's, if you want to sell your house and you want to secure the equity, this is not an option. I mean, it's just not an option. It's part of, it's like trying to put an ad in a magazine without putting graphics into it, and without putting color into it, and just using the little tiny words and little font. It's marketing. It's not decorating, it's marketing. That's what we're doing. That's what I believe anyway. Yeah.
Testimonials are big. Ask your clients for testimonials. When you do a job and it sells in 2 weeks for $20,000 over, you need to coach your clients and say, will you please send me a 2-sentence testimonial. The other thing is have great photos. Have amazing photos. We are in the business of image. Have great photos. If they can't afford you, they're not your client.
Good morning. I think the other thing is we focus so much on the realtor and look beyond the world of the realtor and look at that FISBO market and educate. I mean, we heard so much about Facebook. FaceTime is even more critical. So getting out there in the marketplace so people get what you do.
Yeah, all of that is fantastic. But the one thing that I think a lot of us don't realize, kind of the sales 101, getting back to that, and it's about activity. Like what they said, you've got to be in front of your clients, you've got to be contacting your clients. There was a study, granted it was in 2008, but they interviewed over 200 stagers, and over 50% of those stagers were contacting less than 5 new clients in a 3-month period. So that tells me we talk to 3 clients, we're discouraged, and nobody's going to listen, they don't want to spend the money. Don't talk to 3, talk to 30. You know, there's plenty of agents, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of need out there. So focus on activity and move past the negativity if you hear any, and move on, because there's always a client that needs you.
I'm sorry, what was the question again? Just kidding. I think everybody wants to laugh at it too. They're having a good time. You know, I think you really got to learn to stand out. There's a lot of competition, and not only are we still having to sell staging as an industry, but selling yourself is paramount. If anybody asks what I do, I tell them I'm in sales. You know, I'm perpetually selling myself. I'm selling the stager's skill set to any industry who will hire me and hire my services. My photographs are incredible. I ensure that whatever I do, your photographs at the end of the day are going to represent how good you are, and are going to develop trust. People are going to come to you because they trust you. They look at your photographs and they're like, that's good, that's hot, right? And so I can't implore you, you know, enough that you must develop fine and expert photographic skills or hire a photographer to represent your work. I'm sorry, but I find 7 out of 10 stagers' photography to be poor. Mine used to be poor. The company I worked with, Decora, they had a model of photography, and very similar to what we learned in the course. But just make sure that your marketing materials and your work is well lit.
Great advice. Okay, the microphones are on their way, so until then, I apologize. When you're holding the handheld, if you hold it right about where your necktie would go, anybody, then we can hear you, we don't hear the puff.
There we go. How's that?
Okay.
See, right here.
We've got some for Audra and Joanne. What's the most effective way to interest a real estate agency in a partnership relationship? Is it free services for a time period? Is it a deeper discount? What about offering free staging services for one key client? Cindy Long.
Alright. You know, we ask people to put on this, buyer's eyes, just look at the agent's business through their eyes, and they want to look good. So make it easy for them to look good in their listing presentation. I mean, that's part of their process, is they're meeting with clients, they're trying to get those clients to use them for the listing. You give them something that makes them look good, that makes them stand out as part of their material. Promote them. I love Melissa's ideas for her business and her presentation, where she has a page on her site that just strictly promotes not just the listings that she's doing, but promotes the agents that she's working with. Great idea. And just listen to their needs, because everyone's first response will be, you know what, I don't need that, or I don't, money's tight, I don't really, that doesn't really work. But that's just an objection. Everybody hears it. That's, again, just sales 101. It's just moving past objections. And the reality is there's 4 things needed to be